Now, some of y'all are still trying to figure out how we got here. Not just the politics, but the mindset. You know, the stories people keep selling that don't match the reality on the ground. Today, we're walking through 6 moments that show exactly where that gap is. First up, we have here, Atlanta.
Atlanta is Atlantis. 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 Atlanta is Atlantis.
I can't believe this is real, but it is. They even have a website called the Black Atlanteans. They have a Facebook page. Here's that energy vortex that they're trying to summon in that video to bring back the spirit of Atlantis. They do believe that Atlanta, Georgia is actually the lost city of Atlantis. Their Facebook page has 198,000 people, which is just wild that this many people buy into this. So what's going on here is black people are claiming that they are the original descendants of Atlantis. They are the lost Atlanteans, but that's not all that black people claim that they are. They also have many other claims of their ancestry. They say that they are the original Egyptians. They have also claimed that they are the lost tribes of Israel, that they are the original Israelites from the Bible. They have also made claims that they are the original Native Americans on American land and that everyone else should not be here. They also claim to be the Moors, which is the black Americans to the medieval Moors of North Africa, Spain, that tribe. One of the ones that I heard recently on Facebook, which was pretty interesting, is that they said that they were actually aliens and they were physically dropped here from God himself. There's a whole group of people that actually believe this. So they say that God physically put black people on this planet and that they are technically aliens because they were placed here by God. And I'm not making this up. There's actually a whole group of them that believe this. It's very interesting.
Now, they're out here chanting Atlanta is Atlantis. Grown people, phones out, staffs in there talking about summoning an energy vortex like the city was some ancient black kingdom that got lost. That's crazy, man. Plato made Atlantis up as a story. Atlanta got built as a railroad stop in the 1840s. Somehow this Facebook page with almost 200,000 followers got people believing the myth harder than the history books. It's not culture. That's cosplay with real feelings attached. Now, I want you to watch how fast this conversation shifts when somebody starts talking about standards.
You know how y'all walk around, black women, talking about, I love the skin I'm in. Well, part of that skin is your scalp. And what comes out of that skin is not this right here. So if you love the skin you're in, then you ought to show some sign. This ain't the sign that you love the skin you're in. Y'all are always walking around talking about black excellence and black girl magic. Well, what is the magic? Poof, I got something on my head that I can't grow? Is that the magic? Poof, I want to look like a white woman. Is that the magic? Poof, I want to be something that I'm not. I want to be like white. You know how y'all walk
Now,
around?
before I say anything on this, I know I said plateau, but it's plateau. Anywho, Shamika, I believe is what they call in her on this caption. That's actually the post. That's actually the person that posted it. Shamika didn't stutter. You can't run around screaming black excellence while the hair on your head is telling a different story. Magic that can't grow from your own scalp ain't magic. It's a choice. And choices have meaning whether people want to admit it or not. The left will fight you harder over a lace front than they will over fatherlessness numbers. That should tell you everything. I'm just saying. And speaking of fighting,
race-obsessed Joy Reid is raging about how black conservatives must, quote, humiliate themselves to be part of the Republican Party. Watch.
But in order to get that boost from the right, you have to humiliate your own people. You have to express disdain for your own people. There has to be a certain amount of self-hate that you're willing to promote and a lot of humiliation that you're willing to promote.
Joey, I don't know if I would keep on talking about humiliating myself if I were Joy Reid.
Yeah, listen, when I think about my own people, I don't think about white people. I think about people that come from the place I come from, that share the values I have, that are American or patriotic. When I think about my own people, I think about people I have something in common with. And I just, maybe I'm crazy, but maybe not every black person thinks every other black person is a representation of who they are as a human. And I don't think I think her brain would explode if she had to comprehend that and analyze that as a truth. Listen, why does she still have a career? Because we talk about her. That's about it.
Race-obsessed Joy Reid is raging about how...
So Joy Reid looked dead in the camera and said, black conservatives have to show disdain for their own community just to get accepted. And I don't think that's analysis. That's admitting she can't process a black person disagreeing with her without turning it into self-hate. Now, if your whole worldview collapses the second somebody who looks like you votes differently, the problem probably ain't them. It's the ideology that needs black face in the same box. And then, everybody, there's this.
With this narrative, black people are so angry. Black people are so mad. You damn right we mad. God forbid the audacity of you white people to sit there and lay down and reproduce with my own color and sit there and say you have a pretty blended child. I guess your child is now supposed to be deemed as African American because you sat there and reproduced with ours. You mean to tell me yours wasn't good enough for you to do so? You mean to tell me that the white man didn't treat you good enough so you felt to come over here to my black brother? You mean to tell me that the white woman didn't treat you good enough so you chose to come over here to my black sister? Now you think that my black sister's supposed to cook for you, cater to you, bring you a meal as if the same damn time we living in slavery? I'll be damned. And only a hit dog gonna holler. So if you my white friend and you feel as if this targeted to you, baby, you was never a friend of mine. I guess you use me for what you can get out of me. Dear white people, when are we going to change? When are we going to come together? Because at this point, if we go eye for an eye, oh, baby, hell has no fury to a woman or a man that is ever scorned. And as far as I'm concerned at this point, every African American, every Indian, every Native American, all of us are scorned from the hell that your people have done to ours, because none of us is just worthy enough to you. But I pray and hope that this reaches a humble heart for you to understand we're mad, we're tired, enough is enough. We just want to live and abide within the same vicinity with no mess. I'm not against you. I'm not going to hurt you. I don't want anything to do with that. I just want to feel like I belong and I deserve the equal rights of everybody else. Dear white people, answer me. What have we done to you?
A whole Dear White People video of STD statistics. CDC numbers been split for years. The rates are not equal. Instead of dealing with the behavior and the culture that drives those numbers, the response is a threat dressed up as empowerment. Hell hath no fury over public health data. I don't think that's strength. That's deflection with attitude. Now, here's the part that actually matters for winning elections.
The one thing Democrats need to learn from Donald Trump, and I learned this from Donald Trump. Donald Trump had rallies at night, but you know what he did during the day? He was with people. He was meeting them where they are. He was on podcasts. He was in the community. He was meeting people where they are. The other thing is the Republicans have been doing a great job registering new voters, talking to what I call low propensity voters. That's voters who typically don't care about midterm elections. Right. He did that in this cycle. He went out there, and his campaign was quite effective. And not only listening to the people, but motivating them to get out and vote. The one thing Democrats need to learn from Donald Trump.
Donna Brazile, sat down and told on her own party. Trump was outside during the day, podcast, community, registering people who normally don't vote in midterms. Meanwhile, Democrats still acting like showing up once every 4 years and calling people names is a strategy. She said the quiet part without even trying to hide it. One side is meeting people where they are. The other side is still waiting for people to come to them. And that ultimately brings us to the main event.
Now, Jigaboo Sharpton is at it again, people. George Floyd's story is the story of all black folks. What? So what, you saying all black folks are criminals? His story? Are we talking about the same damn man who went to jail 8 damn times, held a gun towards a pregnant woman, committed robbery, resisted arrest, and ain't surmounted to a damn thing his entire life living on this planet? That man? You saying black folks' story is like that? 'Cause that ain't my damn story. Sir, the damn boy consumed a god-awful amount of toxic items before he was unalive. 3 grams of fentanyl. That's enough to unalive anybody immediately, expeditiously, riveting. You know this, don't you, Al Jigaboo Sharpton? You, along with the Democratic Party, was trying to convince us that Eric was the issue. Now, I think the knees was a little bit too excessive. I think most of us can agree to that. But we all also understand he did not die because of no damn knee. We can't be who we want to be. Sir, you've been a damn multi-millionaire most of your life. What are you talking about? Mind you, capitalizing off easily manipulated black folks. Whites kept their knees on my neck. Are you sure about that, sir? Because I'm sure white folks made you wealthy. Al Sharpton, every damn week is something with this guy. He's always saying something between him and Roland Martin and Hakeem Jeffries and... Oh, they give you a damn headache, man. They just give you a damn headache. God.
Al Sharpton still out here calling George Floyd a black American hero, a man with a long criminal record, multiple overdoses, and a life that ended in a tragedy that got turned into a political product. Heroes don't need the truth sanded down, to fit a narrative. Real ones stand on their own record. The fact that this still has to be said in 2026 tells you how deep the storytelling runs. So let's try to look at the full picture. Myths getting treated like history. Standards getting mocked while the numbers stay ugly. Disagreement getting labeled as self-hate. Data getting answered with threats. One side studying how people actually live and vote. And the same voices still trying to sell the same heroes that never really match the facts. None of this is really complicated once you stop letting the loudest voices define the terms. You can care about people without lying to them. You can want better without rewriting reality. And you can notice when a story being sold keeps failing the people it's supposed to help. That's the difference between performance and progress. One needs an audience. The other needs honesty. And if you made it to the end of this video, I want you to write truth in the comments if you made it this far. Everyone deceives his neighbor, and no one speaks the truth. They have taught their tongue to speak lies. They weary themselves committing inequity. This is Jeremiah 9:5. Be safe. Go check on somebody today. You can quite literally be saving their life. Peace.